Hello, I'm Jamaica Piper. I'm the Humanities Librarian for IUPUI University Library. Today we're going to explore how to read a scholarly article in the humanities. For those in the sciences and social sciences, there is a more defined format for article writing that shapes how the article flows. The presentation of writing in the humanities can be a little different. Some of these elements are collapsed into one. At other points, we use terminology to refer to similar pieces of information. For example, the abstract and introduction. When you are evaluating an article, start by reading either the abstract or, in places where there are none, read the first two paragraphs of the introduction to understand the type of argument the author is establishing. Depending on what specific field you are in or a part of, and on the actual journal of publication, the abstract may or may not be present. Consider this example. There is no abstract, but there is an introduction. The first page or so of the introduction typically announces the context for the argument, as well as what the author's position on the topic will be. After reading the abstract or introduction, go forward to the conclusion. The reason for doing this is because the conclusion is where the author of the piece will address what is called the so what factor of an argument. This is the place where they begin to really bring out the article's thesis in terms of its effect. If you understand where the argument started and where it ended, you can read the whole article with the focus on identifying the key subpoints that undergird the article. Now we are at the piece of an article that is called its methodology. If you're in the sciences or social science field, this would be where you expand on information related to data collection and processing. For some of us in the humanities, this is not necessarily a term that we use that often. However, it is still a major part of writing across the humanities. Essentially, the methodology section of a scholarly article attempts to answer three questions. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? How are you going to do it? This is where we start unpacking our theoretical or critical framework. Discussion and results are not the terms we may use in the humanities field, but this is the bulk of the writing that is produced in our scholarly articles. This is not by any means an exhaustive list, but sort of a list of options that we may deploy when we're doing our analysis. Once you start applying theory and criticism to a text or to data, and then inserting your voice and understanding about a text, you are both doing analysis and inserting yourself into a wider scholarly conversation. I hope you have found this discussion enlightening as you approach reading, synthesizing, and even writing your own scholarly research in the future. If you have a question about anything that was discussed, please set up an appointment or email me directly. My contact information can be found on the English LibGuide for IUPUI University Library.